Joe Burrow is back, and we heard from him today at Paycor Stadium. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com here at Paycor Stadium, where the Bengals getting set for Sunday's regular season opener in Cleveland against the Browns. And Joe Burrow was asked a ton of questions today. It was an extended news conference for Joe for a variety of reasons. And the biggest one, obviously, he's missed roughly 5 weeks. It was a day short of 5 weeks. We haven't heard from him in over 6 weeks because of the calf strain he suffered on July 27th. So he answered questions about that, about the contract, and much, much more. Let's start with the injury, and that's where the news conference started. I asked him about the past 6 weeks and what's it been like, and he was preceded by, and then different reporters proceeded to ask him questions about the injury specifically. What have the past 6 weeks or so been like for you?
Boring. Just a lot of hard work to try to get healthy, try to get back. So I'm in a good spot.
You feel like you're ready to go for a week though?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. We're going to see how these next couple days play out because you never know with these things, but I'm expecting to play. Like I said, we'll see how these next couple days go.
Can you walk us through kind of what, because we haven't talked to you since it happened, can you walk us through what happened on that plane that you got hurt?
Yeah, just muscle strain. So it just takes a while to get back from those. They're finicky and you got to spend a lot more time healing than you anticipate. And so we're in that process right now.
Did you think it was worse than it was originally when you first got on that cart?
No, I knew what it was. I know what an Achilles feels like. I knew it wasn't that. So I was obviously disappointed, but knew what it was.
You were wearing a sleeve, so there was a lot of questions over the sleeve. If you had already hurt your calf, was that something?
I wouldn't say I hurt it. It was a little tight that day, but definitely wouldn't say it was an injury before that.
You had that workout before the Green Bay game. Did you feel good after that? Was that a first encouraging step for you?
Yeah, I felt good after that. There were good days and bad days throughout the whole process, and like I said, the process is ongoing. There's good days and bad days, but plan is to be ready to go.
What do the good days feel like?
Feel normal. Bad days feel a little tight, but that's what injuries are. Good days and bad days, and you just power on and move on.
Yesterday, good day?
It was a great day. Yeah, felt good.
How important will it be, Joe, for you to have confidence to move around in the pocket? Not just get your legs under you and throw the ball down the field, but make sure you can avoid a guy like Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's what these days of practice are for, and that's why this week of practice has been and will be really important. We're feeling out that process right now. Will the next couple of days, tomorrow we're in pads, and so speed will ramp up even a little more than today, and so feel these next 2 days out and see where it is.
Based off of everything your teammates and everyone says about you and your demeanor, about how you're just always calm, how has it been mentally for you dealing with another setback like this? I know you were able to stay. Zach said you were dealing with it okay, but at some point, did you ever have one of those days where it's like, why me again with this?
Yeah, it was frustrating, but I would say this year it was different. I was able to, maintain lifting through the whole process, so I'm in great shape, as good a shape as I've been in heading into week 1. Much different than last year when, I was just trying to get back to full strength and full health. I feel much better going into week 1 this year.
Actually, you were going to go full today. Did you end up going full today?
I did, yeah. Felt good.
How did that feel?
Yeah, felt great. Like I said, good days and bad. Today was good. We'll revisit tomorrow.
How frequently were you throwing after the Green Bay workout? How often were you throwing?
Depends. Depends on the day. Depends on how it felt. Like I said, day to day was completely different. Week to week was different too. So I was throwing.
It's almost impossible to simulate full-speed game unless you're in the game. But have you been able to simulate almost, I could make a sudden move here to escape from the sack, or I have to accelerate to try to gain a first time? Have you tried to do that all out there?
Yeah, I feel good about that. The biggest part is obviously that's going to come, but operation in and out of the huddle, footwork in the pocket, all that stuff didn't get ironed out in camp because I wasn't out there. So I'm ironing out that over the last 2 or 3 practices.
How much of that is starting from scratch every year, or how much of it is a base of having done that in years past?
Yeah, it's always a base now. As many reps as we have under our belt, it's just getting back into the flow of things.
Are there things that maybe you had time to think about that you weren't expecting? Did you think about anything in particular while you were away?
I mean, you watch the tape and give your insight and give what you're thinking, just like you always do. Maybe not as much because you're not out there and you don't have as much feel for what's going on, but as much as you can.
How do you feel about this stepping back in this last week or so, this offense, the offensive line, some of the nuances that are different? How do you feel this team, how ready this team is for when you want to?
Yeah, everybody's ready to go. Everybody's putting a lot of work. We have great people in that locker room that take everything really seriously, and they're all ready to go.
So there's Joe Burrow on the injury, and he said he has good days, bad days. Today was a really good day. I think most of the days now I think are going to become better and better. How he described the bad days was that there could be some tightness in that right calf. So you hope that he can work through that and by at some point early in the season, not have to deal with that for the remainder of the year. Certainly something to take note of, but it does sound like he's ready to go, like he's going to play, which is obviously great news. Another question he was asked is about the contract, about the situation, why he isn't worried about it. And so here's what Joe Burrow had to say about the contract status, about playing despite not having, or potentially playing at least, despite not having an extension, and more from reporters earlier today.
Yeah, that's the last thing I'm thinking about. I'm worried about beating the Browns right now.
So you didn't get as many snaps, obviously, in training camp with rookie receivers, or Smith Jr., but you did get mini camps and all that. Do you feel good about what you accumulated before having that cap strength?
Yeah, I feel good that, if I'm out there, I'm going to be able to perform at the level that I need to.
Are you surprised the contract isn't done at this point?
It's not. I mean, it comes when it comes. I'm not worried about it or anything. I really, not thinking about it too much the last couple of days. I'm, like I said, focused on beating the Browns.
I guess the last time we talked to you, there was a passing comment about, sometimes business may come up in terms of these situations. Have you thought at all about maybe not, and especially after the injury, about maybe saying, hey, let's take it easy until something gets done? Has that hindered the thought process at all for you?
It has not, no.
What have Bose and Summers meant to you through another comeback here this summer?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to be back on the field without those guys. They've put in a lot of work to help me get back to where I'm at, and they're going to continue to put in work to keep me healthy. And those guys are critical to what we're doing here.
You said the contract was the last thing you're worried about. Why?
That's going to come. I'm going to keep playing well. I feel great about the organization and everybody in the locker room and the coaching staff, and so that's icing on the cake to me. I'm just excited to be out here.
Last time you did one of these, we asked several questions about you finally get to go through a normal training camp, and then sure enough it didn't play out that way. What did you think you missed out on the most?
Well, you're never going to be where you would have been had you got those 4 weeks of reps, but I feel great about where I'm at mentally and physically. I feel great about how I've prepared to be in the situation I'm in now, and I feel good about the week of prep that I've put in so far. And like I said, we'll see how these next 2 days play out, but I feel good about going into Sunday.
The opening game is unusual in that you have all this time to game plan, and you've obviously had a voice with Zach and Brian Callahan in terms of what you like to do against the Cleveland Browns. How do you feel about the way the game plan's coming together for this game?
Yeah, I feel great about it. We have all the faith in the world in our coaching staff to put together a game plan for us that's going to put us in the best ability to go out and be successful, and I feel that's the game plan that they've put together for us.
With the contract stuff, how much do you look at just the business of the league, and are there things you've learned about the business of the league this year being in the position here?
Yeah, you definitely realize that it's a business, but at the end of the day, we're playing football professionally, and I'm with great people, some of my best friends in there. Like I said, that's the icing on the cake. It'll come when it comes, but I'm focused on beating the Browns right now.
What ran through your mind when Logan got his extension, obviously same draft class?
Yeah, I was excited for him. Logan's the guy that, the leader of the defense, Mike linebacker. He makes plays for us every single game. We wouldn't be in the position that we've been without him. So whenever you see guys like that get rewarded, it's exciting.
Brian talked a lot last week about you speaking up a little bit more, actually a lot more, when it was called for. How have you evolved as a team leader? You're a captain again. How have you evolved as a leader in 4 years?
Yeah, you evolve every year. Year to year, you feel more comfortable with how you see things, and you see things with more conviction just because of how many reps that you have under your belt. And so that's kind of where I'm at now, and I'll be in a better spot next year and the year after that and the year after that. And so you just continue to bank those reps, put them in your pocket, and you can recall them when it's needed.
A lot of people will point to the potential of an injury risk as to why a player would be hesitant to go out and play without a long-term deal, especially at your position. How are you able to compartmentalize that? You seem so focused on just wanting to play, but there's also that thought. I mean, how are you able to compartmentalize all that in your head?
Yeah, those are all the things that you think about, right? But I feel like the reason I'm in the position that I'm in is because, I love playing football. I work really hard to put myself in a really good position to go out and be successful on Sundays, and that's just what I enjoy doing. I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't able to do that, and I'm not going to let the business side of things take that away from me.
As far as the next step goes for you, Joe, and the contract and everything, before the draft, there was all this buzz around maybe Joe might not go to Cincinnati. Of course, that was fake. It's worked out well for you here. How much has this become home for you in a place that you really want to make your mark on for your entire career?
Yeah, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be my whole career. We're working towards making that happen. You've seen what the front office has done and what Zach has done in their time here, and I'm a small part of that, and I'm excited to be a part of that. And we have great people in the locker room that grind every day, that are excited to go and showcase their talents and excited to do it in the city of Cincinnati. We have the best fans, and so this is where I want to be.
Not shocked by that at all. We know he's all about football, all about ball. I don't think that there was really ever any doubt for Joe that he was going to play. And it's a genuine, almost, I don't even want to say innocence, but I'll describe it that way, because that's how he approaches the game, even though he knows it's a business, even though he knows the millions that are on the line and could be negotiated, maybe agreed to by the time you see this video. I mean, I think that this is ongoing. Another thing that Joe said that stood out to me, he wants to be here for his entire career. They're working to make that happen so he can continue to remain here in Cincinnati. So I think that will happen, and we will certainly have more for you on the Joe Burrow front when we have it. And stay tuned. We have plenty of videos coming your way between now and Sunday's regular season opener. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. For Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Check out our feature with Ted Karras, by the way, if you haven't yet. And until next time, thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.